Hello, I am Ulukbek Nurmuhamedov. I teach in the TESOL program at Northeastern Illinois University, Chicago, Illinois. In this tutorial, I want to show you a technique that I usually use when I write, okay? So I'm a non-native speaker of English, maybe because of that, or maybe that happens to native speakers too, but I have this on the tip of the tongue moment a lot when I write. So while writing a paragraph or phrase, I know what I want to write, but usually that exact phrasing doesn't come to me, okay? So for example, if I want to say it rains cats and dogs, I know that it means it rains heavily, right? But I don't know, like, should I say it rains dogs and cats, or should I say it rains cats and dogs, right? Or like, for example, the word effort. So should I say make an effort or do an effort, right? And in TESOL or applied linguistics, it's called collocations, right? The words that occur together. But anyway, so my point is that sometimes I know what I want to say, but I don't know exactly how to say that. And Google Scholar Wildcard Search feature, a colleague of mine taught me a few years ago, helps me a lot, especially when I have to improve the accuracy on my papers, okay? So I hope, in case you have some non-native speaker students in your class, or you yourself a non-native speaker of English and want to improve the accuracy of your writing, Google Scholar Wildcard Search might help you. At least it's helping me so far. And so how do you use it, okay? So on the screen you see two documents, right? A Google website and also a student essay. Okay, to use this technique, you need to use Google Scholar, okay? So not just the regular Google, but Google Scholar. Why? Because Google Scholar contains language that has been edited, right? So we know that Google Scholar contains books and articles published in peer-reviewed journals. So that's why before those resources were put on Google Scholar, they've been edited by professional editors. And so on the right side, you see student essay. And please note that there are red words in it, right? Basically, imagine, right? Let's imagine. So a student wrote a paper and submitted to the professor. And the professor read the paper and didn't like certain words, okay? And the red words indicate awkward phrases or awkward words. And, these words need to be replaced. And so the professor handed back the essay back to the student. And now student, let's say, has to revise this, okay? So one way to do that would be, so imagine, right? So what do you do is that, so you just copy and paste this one and put it into Google Scholar. Please note, you don't just put it, because you have to contextualize it. And the one way to contextualize would be by putting a quotation marks, okay? So quotation marks indicate that you are interested in looking for these particular phrases. And now pay attention, right? The professor said that hi doesn't make sense here, or the hi needs to be replaced by some other academic words or accurate words. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to delete hi and put an asterisk, right? The star, right? If you're using key, it's 8, right? So now let me search. Oh wow! Look, the Google Scholar is giving me some, good word options or better word options. So key elements, right? Basic elements, defining elements, okay? Fundamental elements, right? Essential elements. So maybe instead of using hi, right? Maybe I have to use, words like essential, right? Or key, right? Or fundamental elements. So you see, or let's look at the next one. Motivation can make a total difference between lazy and outstanding. So I think I can understand the student's point, but maybe tall is not the right word here, right? So, and just like I did before, let me just choose a few words, let's say one word before tall and 2 words after tall. And so let me put a context, right? So quotation marks indicate context. So I want to replace the word tall with something else. Oh, look. So the Google Scholar is giving me a couple of better options, right? So significant difference. Okay, sounds like a good idea. And what else? Significant, clear difference, okay. Strict difference, okay. Qualitative difference, okay. Phase difference, oh, crucial difference, right? I mean, crucial is a possibility too, right? So as you can see, the Google Scholar is giving me a couple of good options. And now let's look at one more example. So the word cool, right? And we know that cool in informal English sounds okay, right? But maybe in academic papers, the word cool is not a good option, right? So again, so one word before cool, and let's say two words. Or maybe like, how about if I just put 3 words after cool, right? So and again, right, you can play with it. I mean, if you want, like, 2 words before the word you want to replace, or 3 words after the word you want to replace, so you can play with it, because whatever you put to the Google Scholar, it's going to always generate something for you, right? But you have to basically play with the context as I say it. So now the word cool, let me put an asterisk, and I replaced cool with an asterisk. And now let's see. Oh, Google gave me a couple of options, right? Important aspect, critical aspect, the most important aspect, significant aspect, right? And what happens if I just put the word to, let's say, right? You see, it actually slightly changed based on the context that I gave to Google. So critical aspect, important aspect. So it looks like I can put the most important, or I can put the most critical aspects, right? So yeah, so these are the changes that I made, right? And again, I can select either important or critical, or here significant or crucial. But what I'm trying to show you here is that Google gave me a couple of options, okay, and in fact better options. So there is wise and there is do. Why don't you just practice Google Scholar yourself and replace these words with better words? So I hope this technique would be helpful and useful for you and your students, and enjoy using the Google Scholar Wildcard Search.